We weren't behind. You play with Cruyff, Best, Gert Mueller, you're not down 4-0, regardless of where you go.
Bill Shane, Thomas Rongen with you, and you see James Rodriguez has joined us. Might not be the only one. Trout loosening up as Zinedine Zidane tries to keep everyone happy, and winning will do that. And as you said, credit to Cruyff, at least don't lose. Jose Hernandez, Eduardo Vizcayart on our Spanish language side. Talked about Isco. Real Madrid have never lost a match where he has scored in the prior 21 matches. He's found the net. But he's never had a hat trick. 4 braces, never a hat trick. Benzema, and that is perhaps a bit more what Ochoa needed to do, but still took enough off to keep it in. Crossed inside, clearing it away. Javi Lomban. And again, panicking under pressure. James, his first touch. Not exactly sure that was by design. Ochoa able to haul it in.
It's just wonderful to see Madrid attacking. In saying that, Phil, Granada playing for the first time out of a 5-4-1 almost looks like the U.S. national team against Mexico with their new system. Lucas Alcaraz has played normally out of a 4-2-3-1 throughout the year, has totally adjusted on the road against Real Madrid, and he's paying the price right now. His team is not comfortable in the system. Lines are totally unbalanced, and Real Madrid, very good on the day, is taking advantage of a team right now that, if I'm correct, has not had a shot on goal yet.
Down into the corner. Little stumble as Uche Agbo was knocked off balance. Stats at the half. Real Madrid 13 shots, 9 on target. Just that one sole tally that went awry by Granada.
And one other
what does that tell you, by the way? 13 shots, 9 on target. To me, that says not only are they getting the opening to take the shot, they're getting openings where there's no one even close enough to harass them to force the shot wide.
Again, principles of defending, individual, group and team defending, pressure, balance, cover, all these fundamental defending principles are not there at all, Phil. There's isolation. They don't move as a group. They don't force play outside. They allow combination play around the box simply by not staying with runners. And that's just poor execution by the coach, but also by some of these individual players not taking the responsibility to execute, obviously, game plan that was defensive to keep the 0 as long as possible, and that just didn't happen.
See, maybe the hint of a limp for Isco, so maybe that hat trick will have to wait. Veso on the near side. Kroos already exiting in favor of James, and Marco Asensio about ready to step in. Of course, you can talk about defensive woes, managerial shortcomings. Ball launched in high and plucked out of the air, looking into the sun by Navas. A little harder than it might have first appeared. But you are talking about taking on Real Madrid. Granada knew this would not be an easy place. Their next match is at home against Osasuna, on the road at Espanyol. Difficult against Villarreal, but then a home match against Las Palmas. That's where they will make their survival. Nice from James, chipped in. Isco! Well, that would have been a way to exit stage left.
Again, another principle of attack is dribble penetration down the hard. And that's what Ronaldo does so well. Gives Gavin that opportunity, float the ball in. Actually, that's a delicate ball. And Isco rather has the ball on his feet, I think. Or Ronaldo should have been there.
So Isco exits with 2 to his name. There, the opener.
And that just this beautiful understanding of great footballers. Non-verbal, eye contact at the same time, Phil. That's just big time. Get that penetration out wide. You get that step on the defender. The ball is just played across with the inside of the foot with pace, which is not easy to do, right in the stride of Isco, and then it becomes very simple to finish.
James Rodriguez in for the birthday boy Toni Kroos.
What a luxury for Zidane right now, being up 4-0 at the half, making those changes, resting players, little niggles.
You take a look at it, also gives him the opportunity. He could even hold on to Morata, giving him a chance to feed his hunger against Sevilla in either cup or league, and then also give a run out to Mariano Diaz or Danilo or Coentrao, three players that have been on the sideline more often than not. A whack to the back by Agbo. Perhaps appropriately named that time against James Rodriguez. It's not that easy when you consider it, starting the season in that cup match, the home leg against Sevilla. Ronaldo through to Benzema, out wide Carvajal. Deflected off of Silva and out for the corner.
I would like to see the trust ratio of both fullbacks for Real Madrid. It's been incredible.
Define that.
Well,
the press ratio?
One, the ability of Madrid right now to counter press and get possession that allows Marcelo and Carvajal to stay in that final third almost and don't have to bridge.
Over Benzema, settled.
40 or 50 yards each and every time to get there. So, A, it's economical. B, as I said again, look at the pressure right here. Look at this pressure. Look at this tackle.
Beautiful from Casemiro. Tees up James, bends it across, cleared high in the air. Asensio finds a spot and helps win it back off the poor clearance. James again. Settled. Benzema blasted up and over. Good teamwork, but nothing to show for it.
Talk about shot accuracy. This is probably the highest they've ever had. This has been an easy game. Maybe not the easiest. Normally, Phil, they're at 49%. They see again, anytime that entry ball comes here with movement. Zidane actually not happy at 4-0. Wants another one. Almost 50%, 220 shots so far, 109 on target. And today there was 10 out of 13 maybe. Pretty amazing. That's an incredible number.
Jeremy Boga.
Look how they hunt the ball there. Casemiro, Marcelo. The willingness for his team to work without the ball is unbelievable, Phil. I've never seen this from a Madrid team.
Akil sweeping it through Benzema. Ronaldo thought the run would be there, but Modric couldn't get there in time. How much of this, though, is also a product of, I hate to say it, but like the absence of Gareth Bale, the ability to allow Ronaldo and Benzema to foray up front, which then allows that extra playmaker earlier in the form of Isco, now Modric stepping up.
And that's a very good point. With Bale, they're a different team. Bale is a powerful runner, very similar to what Ronaldo was a few years ago. He gives you great defensive effort as well, but in combination play, tighter areas, he's not as comfortable as Modric or Isco are. And when you're in the final third, that's what you need to do. Ball movement, player movement, and technically very sound players. And Bale is not that.
Samper stripped as he tried to burst into the box. Modric, Asensio, a little off target, but Marcelo with the speed to get there.
In tighter games, Phil, where they have to defend for long stretches, will be happen against the better teams, be it Atletico, be it Sevilla at times, be it Barca. Bale is unique because when he has a lot of acres of space in front of him, his ability with and without the ball to bridge ground is pretty unique.
As you talked about, dribbling through the middle. Bale has added that to his game as well, starting in his Spurs days and polished off here at the Bernabeu.
And I think that's why Zidane picked Isco over James.
James showing he has a chance here, although it's Ronaldo dribbling into the teeth of the defense.
James is a little bit more stationary, likes to find players out of a little bit deeper position, but doesn't penetrate with or without the ball as Isco does. In this particular game, with a low-pressure team, Isco is the right choice. And again, Zidane, well done.
Although then, if there is a Bale and a Ronaldo, they do the running for you. Maybe James would be the man.
Good point, Phil.
Nacho pushing forward, which means they need cover in the back. Casemiro dropping back, a burst of pace. Pereira, but it's deflected wide. Good team defense. Marcelo kicks that away. That could be a card if Mr. Bikandi wanted to be finicky about it. The Qatar ExxonMobil Open, the final. Defending champion Novak Djokovic and Andy Murray going head-to-head, 10 a.m. Eastern. An hour after this match concludes. Casemiro down.
There's some contact there with the elbow. Nothing intentionally. Yeah, it should be a yellow. Correct decision. It's been an easy game for this referee. I've said for several months now, the refereeing in Spain is the worst out of the 4 biggest leagues in the world.
By what criteria?
Even today's goal of Benzema. That's offsides. You look at some of the decisions in Barcelona's game yesterday, and it goes on and on and on as well. In the old days, and still in some countries, when you are poor as a referee in 2 games, you know what? You go back to the 2nd division or get a 10-game suspension. There's no accountability, I think, in particular in Spain, which really surprises me.
Casemiro just sailed a little long. Under pressure, Tabanu, and Asensio steals it away. Forces the foul from the Frenchman and a free kick just outside the box. More action coming your way later. 10 o'clock hour on beIN Sports and Espanol. We'll have Atletico Madrid looking to claw back towards the Champions League spots. They're on the road at Eibar, and that won't be easy. Las Palmas and Sporting Gijón a little later today, along with La Real and Sevilla licking their wounds. Driven across, back post, Casemiro! Make it 5! Like a dart to the bullseye, and Real Madrid's on the board again. What a service, what a finish.
You talk about one of the most technically gifted left-footed players right here on display. What a great ball by James Rodriguez, and then the blindsided run by Casemiro. Why not? The holding midfielder wants to get the scoreboard. Great near post run there by Benzema, Ronaldo, and Varane to bring people centrally with you. And then the weak side, the defending again poor. But give Casemiro some credit, and James as well. Something to be said about left-footed players that can just play balls and curve and put them right where you want them.
First goal in nearly a year for Casemiro, first of the season. And as you saw, it wasn't extremely easy, although it was put on a platter. Looked like he wanted to tuck it in with his left and then made the adjustment regardless. Brilliance from James. And it pays off with a Casemiro jackpot. Cutting inside. Now back to his left foot. Forces his way through, but deflected away. Modric pulled down. Foul against Granada. Unbeaten on the season. This Real Madrid team about to go 12-4-0, 7-2-0 at home.
There you can see it again, Phil. Look at the movement towards the forced post. There's actually 4 players with Ronaldo in there as well, bringing that with you. Decoy runs, we call that. And then that late run, well-timed and well-executed free kick that you work on. We call it situational coaching during the course of a week.
Yeah, so you're saying that's by design.
Absolutely.
That was back post all. The key is, and it's hard to do when you have guys that are good in the air like a Ronaldo, like a Benzema, like a Varane. It's so easy just to try and utilize them. What they did is they flooded all of those players to the near post. And yet, if you're a defender, you have to make that run with them.
Absolutely.
Casemiro did the hard work.
If you do a combo fill between men-to-men marking and zonal marking, so you get 3 players in the 6-yard box with 1 at the far post, it becomes a fairly simple defensive play.
Like Javi Marquez might be out there now for Granada, and a nice play to create space in the midfield. But again, cleared away. Let's see. Looks like it might be Agbo who was replaced. Sticking Marquez out there. Looking for the goal, and just over the head of a charging Tabanur. Use the hashtag #BeinLaLiga on your tweets. Love to hear from you. And hear from the reverse angle.
That's just incredible. It's a timing of the run, bringing people with you, creating space somewhere, which was far post for Casemiro. He's the trailer. It comes pretty much from a deep position.
Ronaldo off balance. Beso back in time, saying he was bodied off the ball. Even at 5-0 up. Some might say that's petulant, but I think if you see it long enough, and as you pointed out, you start to see more and more the teamwork of Ronaldo. But there's a hunger and also a willingness to accept the responsibility.
I felt it almost started in the Euros with him being so animated and so emotionally involved while he wasn't able to play after his injury, and becoming a de facto assistant coach on that sideline, caring about his team, being as jubilant after they won as the rest of his team, and not being on the field. That, to me, I think showed a maturity that I've never seen from Ronaldo, and has continued with Madrid.
Thomas just wanted that one to carry, but he got an inadvertent touch.
And situational coaching, Phil, is also something on the defensive end. You look at Ramos scoring against Barca, big goals late in games, when in those particular cases there's picks being set, like in basketball. How do you get around it? How do you fight through that? Then I say, you know what, zonal defending is much better. 4 1v1, 3 zonal, 2 on the post, which I rarely see, which is incredible on this level. Everybody back. 33% of goals are still being scored out of set pieces.
Casemiro with another brilliant tackle, but Granada gets it. Good cover as Carvajal fills the lane out wide. Asensio slashing to the inside. Ronaldo drawing the defense. Benzema sends it. Marcelo drives it. Deflected. Back post still alive. But Benzema this time is caught by the flag.
This is just too easy. After the 7-1 loss against Atletico Madrid and after Las Palmas 5-1, Phil, this team, this coach made a conscious decision. They outfouled their opponent 3-1. Now, I'm not saying that's correct, but if you want to stop a juggernaut, good teams, then that might be part of your philosophy, so to speak. It's not pretty. I don't like it. Again, the runs near post. Marcelo coming far post as well. But today, they've only given up 8 free kicks through 65 minutes.
Here's what you were talking about earlier.
Just brilliant. Brilliant timing of the reel. Brilliant delivery. And Casemiro just making it a little bit of body and I'm fainting out wide as a defender, you're done. By the way, defender, you might want to get goal side on Casemiro instead of ball watching.
Yeah, Alberto Bueno, the 27-year-old on loan from Porto. Ex-Real Madrid youth. Started back in 2001. Action from Serie A with Sampdoria visiting Napoli 2:30 p.m. today. Real Madrid still unbeaten. Contrao going to get the call. Among the big five in Europe, Real Madrid and Hoffenheim, the only two still not to taste defeat. Asensio looking almost Isco-ish, even down to the slide. Kept alive nicely though. Taverneau does as well. Samper lifting it forward, and it's 1v1. Nacho gets there in time to harass Kravitz.
And a correct foul there. But Nacho does a very good job by recovering, not completely getting goal side, but putting a body on him to slow him down, allowing other players to come back, giving up the foul and say, you know what, we'll take you on a set piece here. Good, smart defending without giving up a yellow card.
Bueno, by the way, coming in for Boga, the Madrid-born attacker out there for Granada, as the ball driven across. Taverneau on this near side. Actually, Veso blinded by the platinum blonde hair. That ball sails over. Fabio Contrao ready to step onto the field for Real Madrid. Final substitution.
2-0, little nutmeg. And Marcelo. Just a great individual efforts throughout this game by both teams, but in particular by Real Madrid.
Fabio Contrao coming in for Marcelo, left back or left back, and this is the first time in league play that Contrao has stepped onto the field since May of 2015.
No wonder he gets this warm applause by the home fans.
Best left back in the world?
At one point,
or in a certain
at one point
system.
in time, he was. I agree with you. He's clearly in the top three when he's on top of his game. Technically sound, he can defend.
And he's still 28.
Yep.
You mentioned with Real Madrid, this is the 10th anniversary of his debut. And another stellar performance. 4-0 in the first half. Casemiro, the lone goal here in the second.
We talked about fouls of Granada, which not as aggressive as they, I think, should have been, to destroy the rhythm of an opposing team. The art of defending of Madrid. No giving up a lot of fouls.
Almost slips through, bounces up awkwardly, denied by the hand, and Silva in the book. The ex-Palmeiras man pleading his innocence to no avail.
That's a handball for sure. Ronnie's going, this is mine. I know, James, you would like to take this one. Asensio, you get a good left foot. But I'm going to go shoelaces on this baby. And Joe's going, please, Wall, don't turn, don't jump. Take one for the team.
thumb tends to be whichever player touches it last. And you see James practically shielding Ronaldo away, begging to take it. For Ochoa, such a good reaction keeper, but arsenic or cyanide, pick your poison. Set up more for the left foot. Ronaldo in pose, but it will be James, and that one just wide. Even caught the cameraman by surprise.
Not a great indication how much of a team player Ronaldo has been. Phil, last years up till this season, no way he would have stepped out of the way for anybody. But as you said, he recognized that this is a better opportunity for a lefty than a righty, and he shares.
Casemiro will go in the book for that collision.
That might be the 8th or 9th foul by Real Madrid, as I said again. They've got so many good Suficos right now to suffocate us again without giving fouls. They hunt for 3 seconds, Phil. That's normally the rule. You go hard, 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 hard. And that's hard, by the way, from behind by Casemiro, and a correct yellow card. And if you can't retain or win back the ball, then you recover as a team and deal with it in the middle of the park or your defensive end. So far, the pressure, the counter pressure has been brilliant, as we can see right here.
Carvajal stepping up, deflected by Benzema. Might have actually been intended for Ronaldo. Nice back heel by James. Carvajal dancing around Tabanu's challenge. And then upended in the corner. Tabanu cleats out. And he might be fortunate if this is only a yellow. Talking to the assistant. And I think Tabanu living a charmed life here.
A little tough to tell from our angle. This is much better. And you know what? It's a yellow.
No, there's the first. Take a look here.
Oh, you're right, Phil. That's a red card, without a doubt.
If he keeps the cleats down, there's an argument.
I say if he keeps the cleats down, it's still a red card. The mere fact that he even goes higher, wants to make contact on his shin or the thigh, is even more cynical.
5-0 already, and in danger of going a man down. Final quarter hour approaches, driven across nicely. James! And Ronaldo just couldn't hang enough. Look back, Nacho smashed to the middle, but another offside flag. Aitor Villate, the assistant on the far side, catching that one. Tabanu getting a warm welcome.
Modric. The engine room of Real Madrid. Mr. Modric with Casemiro and Cruz. That triangle is just so well balanced that good passers, they can win balls like Modric just did as well. They can give you so much on both sides of the ball. And again, they can all pass and dribble. Rakitic, just as Barcelona's an example, is a great runner, somewhat of a physical specimen, but not very good with the ball. This is a more complete team right now. You get your central wingers, the Ronaldos, the Iscos, that play out to in, Phil. You remember the old channel strikers, just channel one?
Well, Ronaldo in that CR9 role, off to Carvajal. Needed a better touch.
And the channel striker nowadays, Ronaldo, for example, can go now in 2 and 3 through diagonal runs.
Casemiro building a roadblock for Tabanu. Like 39 in a row. Tying Barcelona. Lifted forward, but the shot from Kravitz would not have counted anyway. Getting number 40 might not be that easy. Back-to-back matches coming up against Sevilla.
Good decision by the linesman, but more so Varane and Nacho's understanding just to hold the line, step a little bit. Good non-verbal communication. For two players that haven't played very often together, and they got to give the young Varane a lot of credit again.
Nacho maybe getting away with one. The pass went into a channel where Ronaldo was going up that center line and easily read.
And that's so beautiful right now. When they come from deep positions and there's space behind a back four, you can go in that central channel with a good ball on the ground and leading Ronaldo. If you get higher up the field, you got to go to 2 and 3. Those little diagonal runs, getting in those pockets that Ronaldo, Isco, Modric do so well to get out of channel 1 and go to 2 and 3 and create huge problems for any defense.
Again, trying to sneak it inside of Carvajal, but no. Dangerous position here for Benzema. Finds Asensio, threaded in for Ronaldo. Probably would have been offside. Ochoa out to grab it in time. Double teamed, harassed, suffocated, as you've been saying, but spinning away from the pressure. Burst of lungs for Gabi Silva. Brazilian sends it across. 3 in the box, and he kicks it over all. Trying a little back heel, hoping to knock it off Coentrao, but no, it'll be a throw-in box high for Real Madrid. Into the final quarter hour. And another substitute. It'll be the Argentine Ezequiel Ponce, the ex-Newell's boy, old or young, by way of Roma. And Tabanu, with his yellow card, whistled to the bench. So this will change things up just a little bit. They will go that 4 in the back, already down by 5, though. Here's Javi Marquez. Marquez, big fan of Luka Modric. Silva tries to blast it in. It's a second effort. See Modric challenging. Gets there just in front of Marquez. Marquez just had a baby boy this year. Named him after the Real Madrid midfielder. But no, it's not Luka Marquez. Didn't want to have any confusion. It's Modric Marquez. And there you see the two. Wouldn't be surprised to see if he comes away with Luka's jersey for baby Modric. Napoli, Sampdoria with Serie A play coming up, 2:30 today. And the Appia International from Sydney, day 1. Late night action from the other side, 8 p.m. Eastern, start 5 Pacific.
Go back to Modric, Phil. I mean, I call that the new number 10 because that's just what is the 10? The 10 used to be a beautiful static player.
Thereby,
but the modern 10 can run and play horizontally and vertically. You can get places without the ball. He can play penetrating balls. And Iniesta and Modric are probably the best in the business if you look at that right now.
Touched aside by Pereira. Gets it back from Bueno.
And wins balls in his own half. Look at that. That's what I talked about. Being able to play vertically when it's on forward. Breaking lines.
Is that the 10? I mean, because you normally think 10, there's 2 positions. You have the Xavi position closer to the front line. You have the Pirlo position as the regista.
Right.
Way in the back and just watching everything unfold
in front of you.
Which are the
deep lying playmakers, correct.
So is this almost like not an 8.5, but an 8 with an asterisk?
Yes, it is. And that's why I call it a modern 10. It's not a true 10, it's not a true 8, but it's a 10 that's more mobile, as I said again, can run horizontally and vertically and play that way as well, which is very unique in games where there's just not a lot of space available. And for him to recognize that, and through his incredible work rate and mobility, and that's the difference between Modric and Asensio, Modric and Hamas. We're not as explosive. We're not willing to go place all the time to create space for themselves or teammates. Beautiful players in their own right. Don't get me wrong. I love lefties. There's a reason why they're on the bench, though.
Good ball inside. Diving punch by Navas, who has been tested a few times, although nothing really to worry about. Asensio brings it in off of the defender, and out it goes. Benzema has done well today. Probably up for man of the match consideration. Isco, of course, with 2 goals. Casemiro's been a rock defensively. Marcelo, phenomenal in that left back position before being replaced. And then, as you pointed out, Modric, the motor. Didn't even hit the clutch that time. Ronaldo wide, gets it back from James. Takes it to the goal line, lifts, looks. Left-footed cross. Almost found Asensio. Again, Casemiro. Benzema, slight deflection, settled nicely by Rodriguez, but standing strong, Memo Ochoa.
Benzema has been superb today. Second time where he's able to recover the ball, and then that great way to pass out wide, similar to the first goal when he puts Isco in a good position as well. So he is still, in my opinion, much better than Morata. Don't get me wrong, Morata can score goals, but Benzema makes other players better players, and that's important because the Ronaldos of the world need somebody that's willing to drop into midfield to keep Ronaldo high. His tactile acumen in that final third, with and without the ball, makes him still one of the feared strikers, I think, in the world.
At his best when he's on form, which wasn't the case at the start of the season.
True.
Now when they need him, there might not be a better. Out wide, Tito Roman.
There's also nothing better if a coach really believes in you and let you work through your tough spots and rough spots, so to speak, which is a delicate thing to do because you got Morata sitting there going, I think I deserve a chance right now. He talked about a happy locker room. He's done a great job in managing all those personalities so far. Look,
Benzema again.
Now.
Chalk on his heels, now slides to the inside, threads it for Ronaldo, shrugs off one attacker, lifts it across, but not quite enough to return it to the Frenchman. And again, Benzema started that play on the extreme left and ended up in that right center forward channel looking for the return pass. Lifted into the middle, just not high enough to reach Asensio, and out for the corner. It's 5-0. In all honesty, Granada probably fortunate it's not double digits.
The hard part of playing this way, Phil, with all the interchanging up front and with midfielders, is that you don't unbalance yourself actually with or without the ball. And the ability for them, as soon as it turns over, to still have good width. All right, out wide, to have centrally still players, that not all three flow to one side, and when it turns over, the attack goes on the weak side. So that's tactically smart and individual great recognition.
Driven high off the left foot of James. Samper tries to deflect it away. A foul again from Casemiro. Better watch out. He is carrying a caution. And that's what Bikandi is telling him.
In the four phases of their attack, which starts always with the number one, your goalkeeper. And then depending on the pressure, it's either a center back that provides balls into midfield. It's your 2 and your 5, Marcelo or Carvajal. And then in midfield, you look for the 10, you look for the 8, you look for the 6 as well. Or you continue to go out wide in the middle third, which Madrid does so well by getting Marcelo and Carvajal involved. So you stretch the opponent just incredibly, width-wise and also depth-wise as well.
Tends to be many times one or the other. Real Madrid at their best can do it both ways. Samper in the way, but one right back by Coentrao. Benzema just couldn't quite caress that through. Marquez, Samper, Bueno. And Navas flies off of his line. Comfortable enough with the ball at his feet, but bumped to the ground by Artem Kravitz.
In all fairness, Phil, this might have been one of the easiest, or maybe the easiest game of the year for Madrid. But those are the games as a coach you worry about. Overconfidence. Do we let a guard down after 1-0? They've continued to play with such a level of discipline that you need in bigger games as well. So it becomes natural for this team. Look at, again, Phil, we're 85 minutes, up 5-0. There's still good pressure. There's still lines are going up. Everybody's connected. That's pretty darn good.
Calcio tomorrow, Genoa against Roma. That starts at 9 a.m. Eastern. Talk about Roma. Ezequiel Ponce, the young Argentine, 19-year-old on loan from Roma. Giving some help to Kravitz up front. You see him standing near the spot waiting for the cross, tucked to the inside, but again, well read. Quickly out to Modric in gaping green in front. Ronaldo leaves. James wide. Benzema in position. James to Ronaldo. Makes the left. Back to the right. Drives it low, and Ochoa parried into the path of Veso, who clears.
He's one of the best with Neymar. When they can run it a little bit and they cut and go, it's impossible to defend.
All he needs is that tiny gap. James.
It's feels so economical. You remember the days when he just rips 30, 40 yards with the ball and beautiful. Feints, cuts. Bye-bye, defender. Stay on your feet. Keep your feet moving. Like Rinus Michels said, that didn't happen, but still. Brilliant execution. But still, right now, the best in the world.
Asensio, Benzema. But he met it on the way down into a defender, though. He'll swing around to the other side and try it again. '88th minute reached. I guess mini victory for Granada. Just one goal allowed in the second half. Game of catch with Memo Ochoa looking to start something. Samper Bueno. Just a goal to take home with them. Maybe that could be the seed for survival. The side of Modric. Poked free, though. And again, it's Casemiro. So often you don't notice him like there because he only touches it once.
And that's just enough. His understanding, his positional awareness, when to press, when to drop, when to play in his back four, exactly, is amazing.
Good chance for Ronaldo. It's around Modric to James. Sneaks it in with the outside of the left. Offside the call. Looked like the referee calling that one, waking the assistant referee up.
Two things I learned from Rinus Michels and Johan Cruyff. After the first practice, Cruyff came up to me and said, you know what? When you get the ball, play it to me and stand still. And I go, why? He goes, because you're not that good. And fair enough. And Rinus Michels taught me fundamentally starting positions.
Sneaking it through. Nice stop by Navas to deny Kravitz, so he did make a save.
Starting positions and then the ability out of those positions to have good, he called that running lanes.
So you are the Dirty Harry of football. You got to know your limitations.
We practice like Saki day in, day out. 2 to 8, back to 6, switch the point of attack. 9, drop it back to 10, through ball. Over and over and over again until it became automatic. Oh, look at this
beautiful touch. James wants it back, and for the first time today, Benzema with a foot wrong. "5-0 the score, and on the stroke of 90 minutes, Iñaki Vikendi puts Granada out of their mercy.
Just a well-played game at Real Madrid against a team that didn't really put up a fight. The 0, always important to keep tries, and Ronaldo and go. Just, again, 3 points, and that's the most important thing, Zidane says.
Isco with a brace in the first half. Benzema, Ronaldo also find the net. And Casemiro, the 5th and final in Real Madrid's 39th straight